Hear me? What did you expect? I don't need respect. I'm the threat. I'm so free. I got no chains on me. I'm so free. I got no chains on me. Let me hit, no shame on me. I'm so free. I got no chains on me. I'm so free. I got no chains on me. I'm so free. I got no chains on me. I'm so free. I got no chains on me. I'm so free. I got kept running through the right back when I started with it. I've been up since time with it. They hit the club, I hit religion. Jesus, I'll admit it. I just give up reference. You just give up steps. Do we need another dose? You insecure, you're beautiful. On my side, you revive God through the Wi-Fi. Teach y'all apart to never colonize round the high fives for the top God, man, it's dangerous. Aim of us, flame to us, every day to bring to us, gains of us, train to trust and name that's blessed, name of us, Christ, name of us. I was running with the shame, running through a train. Cross flex, we invest, hear me? This is what you gave. I don't need respect, I'm the threat. Tell them I'm so free, I got no chains on me. I'm so free, I got no chains on me. Let me hit, no shame on me. I'm so free, I got no chains on me. I mean, I'm so free.
Okay, what time is it, baby? Y'all know what it is, man. God is good. Real talk, motivation, hustle, in the grind. Hey, we're showing today how you motivate, hustle, and grind in today's society, keeping God the foundation of everything you do. You know, we kind of move slow right now because people come on, they start coming on and checking us out. But hey, please, you know what I'm saying? This God's show for God's people. We just ask that you like, share, and comment. For all the comments we're getting in, for all the emails I got, please hit us up anytime. Here, I'm going to give you our info real quick. Right here, look at this. Real Talk, MHC@gmail.com. You can text us at 517-703-6943. Man, listen, if you want to know what it takes today in today's society to motivate, hustle, and grind as you keep God the foundation of everything you do, man, I got someone today that's going to blow your mind. We're going to welcome my brother from way under Michigan, the state of Michigan, over there, Ypsilanti, Detroit, Metro Detroit, all that side over there. That's right. He over there doing big things. Deshawn, Leeth, he's on today live. You know, he is the CEO and founder of UnderDawg Nation. Ooh, you know what I'm saying? So I really ain't got to say too much. I'm going to let my brother do it because he knows what he's doing. So at this time, I'm so honored, man. Listen, you have no idea. I got today my brother all the way from Michigan, the mid, okay? And I'm talking about Metro Detroit, Ypsilanti, all that parts over there. He got it, South Michigan. You know what I'm saying? UnderDawg Nation, he's the founder, CEO. He out there doing big things for the youth, man. The underdeveloped community, man. He's out there killing the game. He's going to give you a testimony. When I hear his testimony, man, I get goosebumps. And I've been through a lot. Y'all know that. My brother Deshawn, man, listen. And he's going to tell you stories about me and him way back in our heyday. But the thing today is, we on fire for the Lord, man. And the beautiful part is where he's at today, we got to call, you know, we're here like comfortable, central air, kicking back. They're over there in the war zone, in the streets, doing what they got to do, man, to motivate, hustle, and grind in today's society. And no matter what comes at him, man, he keeps going. I salute my brother, man. Hey, let's welcome him right now. Remember, like, share, and comment. Let's go ahead and welcome my brother to the stage, Mr. Deshawn Leeth. How you doing, my brother?
Oh, let me get a drum roll for me. Let me get a drum roll.
There you go, baby. Yeah.
Hey, if God ain't good, I don't know why we can't stop drumming.
Come on with it. Let's go.
Man, first of all, I just want to thank you for inviting me on your show, man, coming all the way from Michigan, like where I'm at, man. But the relationship and the brotherhood that me and you have established, that God has gave us, the friendship and the brotherhood for, man. First of all, I just want to give my hats out to you and just give a round of applause for you, bro. Come on, man. You know, you came from what they say, the underdogs, man. We came from a lot. When we get into a situation when we got the odds against us,
right?
That's where the underdog came from. You know, growing up like that. But I very appreciate for coming on this show, and just talk about how God is the center of everything. I mean, 24/7, 365 days a week. When we say we wake up, we make the devil tremble. We kick doors down.
Come on with it, man. Come on.
We kick
That's what
doors
I'm talking
down.
about. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, for the righteous this time we doing it. Come on with it. That's right. Hey, so why don't you let everybody know a little bit about I mean, I don't want to get way too ahead, man, but why don't you tell everybody a little bit about your story, man? Because I mean, if you don't know, I'm pretty sure everyone in Michigan that I know, man, knows about Deshawn Leeth UnderDawg Nation. Your story's been everywhere, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, my hat goes off. I thought I was doing big thing, and my brother came and he just did his thing, man. Why don't you tell me a little bit about that, man, UnderDawg Nation?
So I was born. I'll give you a little childhood upbringing of who I am before UnderDawg Nation came about. I was raised in all over Michigan. I say Southeast Michigan for a reason. I can't put one location because I was just had a lot of different homes. But growing up, I was born in Detroit, Michigan, on the east side, and I had a mom that was a strong queen in this world that God has gave us the opportunity to just have life in. We started on the east side of Detroit, and at the age of 5, I ended up maneuvering down Southeast Michigan. Coming down to Ypsilanti, coming down to Jackson, coming down to Flint, and that was it was a lot of movement early in my childhood. I grew up without a father. God is the father of all, though, but I grew up without a father. I had role models in a way, but I didn't have my biological father when I first came out the womb. But childhood upbringing, I'm the youngest out of 5 kids, and I'm the only boy too. I got 4 sisters. Ain't that something, Mike? You hear me?
Yeah,
So,
I know.
I got 4 sisters. So when I came out the last and the only boy, I know my mama had something going on because God gave her favor to have one boy, and it was me, and I just thank God for that. But growing up, it was a challenge. My mom had she was traveling, functioning addict, had a little drug problems and stuff that made it a little challenging growing up. So, coming in that side of a struggle, you got to come from the bottom and you got to make certain things happen just because of the environment you live in. Sometimes you get forced into a situation, early upbringing, that you just have to, you gotta go in with an underdog mentality. Like, I gotta make it happen. And making it happen for me, I loved going to school when I was in elementary, middle school. Loved it. Academics, I never had a problem in school. Just always wanted to learn more. You just couldn't tell me something. I had to keep asking questions, and that's what God tells us, man. You can't just take the word. You got to go. You got to research it. You got to get into it. You got to get personal with it, and that's what, God is good and God is great. And so early in childhood, me and my mom and my sisters, we moved to Ypsilanti, Michigan, and Ann Arbor. I'm about 30 minutes away from Detroit. And when we went down there, it was a whole different environmental change. It's more suburban than, coming up from a more rural area, what we call the hood. You feel me? So going into that Ann Arbor area, it was like, it was fresh. It was newness, and it was an environment. My mom, we adjusted, and it was a grateful adjustment. Having the opportunity to have that, and then maneuvering in Ypsilanti and Ann Arbor. But my mom was a functioning and traveling addict, so I was not at one place for that long. So growing up, I was through a lot of elementary schools, through a lot of middle schools, and all that, and such and forth. So yeah, the upbringing for the childhood, standing here today, that's the childhood upbringing from just growing up with surrounding environments that you just have to learn how to get through sometimes. And my childhood is something that I will never regret nothing, because it made me who I am today. And having that, just made me who I am today with my childhood, for sure.
Hey, of course, always my condolences because of my Dukes, man. But I remember when I met my Dukes, man. I remember when I was there with you, man. You introduced me, and I felt privileged, man. And, me myself, I understand how that feels, man. You know what I'm saying? And my hat goes out to you, man, because no matter what, even today, I see how you keep persevering, man. That motivation, hustle, and grinding today, even with everything you've been through.
Motivation, hustle, and grind. You better say it again. You better
right.
go.
Motivation, hustle, and grind. Even with that moment, man, I remember how you was going through, and you still kept going, man. And I kept sitting back watching you, just saluting you like, man, come on, man. Come on, let me get some of that cereal. You know what I'm saying? What is he? You know, and I'm like, yeah, man. And then you'd always call. And then what got me is you call me to try to ask me stuff. I'm trying to call you to ask you stuff.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I mean,
Man, it's like, man, for me, like I say, man, I'm 30 right now, man. I was born in 1994. Man, it's crazy I can even say that I'm 30, because sometimes I realize I didn't even think I was even gonna make it past 21, to be honest. And that's just the way I was living. I thought I would be in a cell for the rest of my life. Or in and out, transitioning in and out, recidivism, all that stuff. But man, when God really get into your language and really get into your world, and when that spirit really come into you to really open your heart to really believe that God is first, and that He really gave you a heart to desire the things that He wants, and you had an opportunity to get let it go. Oh man, that was the best feeling that I have got the opportunity to have. Like I said, man, from the age of 11 to 18, I was running the streets. I wasn't a violent person, like my dude Boosie say, don't press me. You feel me? I ain't, just don't press up on me. I'm very nonchalant. I'm cool, calm, collected. You feel me? So that was my always approach. I was always a people person growing up, because I never was a one-sided person. I always wanted to see things. You feel me? So growing up, I actually wanted to go to Harvard and be the first hood lawyer to come back and help the people in the hood. That was a childhood dream. So that 11 to 18 range, man, like I said, man, it was a growth and development process of a child that just got to go through some things, like God, and it's like the Red Sea. The children of Israel, they had to go through some things, go through the wilderness before they figure it out. And so that's what my 11 to 18 was. It was just going through a childhood wilderness where I had a lot of temptation that was just at my door 24/7, just because it was just the environment that I came from. But when I came to prison and got that next step, when you in the streets at a juvenile, they got something for you when you go to adult, and and when I went in there, it's it transition. You go from adult, you feel me, looking at yourself, and you coming from a juvenile standpoint. I'm like, man, it's a whole different ball game. I'm coming in a prison cell at the age of 18, right off the streets, and I'm coming in for things that I do and I take accountability for. And when I say I went in there, when I seen quarantine in Jackson, I'm looking at it like, dang, I heard about the fourth tier suicidal people when they really can't take it no more. They really go head first and they really commit suicide just because they can't take it no more. But we serve a God that give us things that we can take, you feel me, to get to the next step. And so like me going to prison was a testimony in itself, because when I came out of prison, I had to go through the wilderness again in prison, just like I did in the childhood. And that's where our relationship started. And when I say when we came on that yard, the things that came into about where we came into the same queue and we came with our Bibles.
Right. You're right. Hey, you're right. Hey, I'm like,
we came with these.
Talking about this one? Remember this one? Hey, you talking about these Bible
Hey, that's a 850.
Right.
What they say? 732.
Right. Yeah.
That's my number.
Come on with it, man.
We came with the Bible. We ain't come with no food, no voodoo, no. We came with this.
Right.
We came with that.
What's that? I had a friend of mine just talk about that. The story of Jacob, Job, where he had the favor in prison when he got accused of some, and he had the favor. And I'm like, I sit back and I think about that moment you said that. If God knew what He was doing, man, you know that. I mean, look how far we've come on everything with UnderDawg Nation, Know Thyself. God knew exactly what He was doing. He knew who He was putting. Because if we wanted to, we could have came with some other type of underdog. You know what I'm saying? But hey, and the whole thing is He knew exactly what He was doing. And I'll never forget that, man. I will never ever forget that, man. The times we be on the yard, man, and the things we go through and discuss, and years and years and years and years and years later, look at us today, man.
Man, we literally wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and be in the cube talking about what we about to study in front of 10 to 15 men every day.
Yes.
Then going on the yard, spinning the yard. We don't know nobody. We don't got to know you. We just know we got God love and we got a prayer journal and we'll pull up on you and be like, hi, my name is Brother Mike and Brother Deshawn. Do you need any prayer?
Right.
And really testify.
Right.
You know, we ain't doing it for no, it wasn't for no show. We don't do that. This is God moving in mountains. When he say he had them kings behind there, they come out, we got to keep going. And that's where I said when God gave me my call in May 12th, 2017, and he told me he was going to use me to shift the generations. When I was in a prison cell, I was at the worst of the worst. I mean, I had everything against me. I mean, I wouldn't even be talking to you.
Right, for sure.
No factual. I would not be talking to you.
Right.
And when I say this is the testified of the testimony, May 12th, 2017, when I was on my knees crying out, I said, God, man, I had so much. I had too much on my weight, more than I ever came. And I'm like, God, it's only one thing I know is to pray. And I ain't know how to pray. I just know God has been there since day one. And I know if I do something bad, I better pray. Or if I do, that's how I grew up taught in church when we go to Granny and they follow us to church and we follow Grandma. We talk about if we do something, you better pray. So I went back to that theology. And I prayed. And when I say God told me it was going to be all right, I never felt the feeling like that, because before that feeling, May 12th, 2017, don't get it twisted, I was on the other side.
Right.
I was on the other side. I was on the other side. I didn't have that love. I had that. If you in my circle, you in my circle. If you ain't, then that's what it is.
Right.
You know. And and May 12th, when he put me into that on my knees situation, man, I knew it was something real. I knew it was something I couldn't fathom. I knew it was nothing but make a believe, because I know my heart. I know my heart was cold because I grew up with a cold childhood. You feel me? And when he really when I felt it, I said, "Oh yeah, Jesus is real." You can't.
Let's go, man. Let's go. Yeah, let's go right there for real.
You can't play with it.
Right.
So when I said Jesus is real, I said, when I was a young boy, I know I had to ask a lot of questions. So when he relieved me May 12th and came out to the cell, I mean, I had to go ask a lot of questions.
Right.
So that means when I went on that yard after May 12th, 17, I was a gangbanger. You feel me? It's in me.
Right.
So listen, but when I had to come back through another wilderness, I had to go in there and I had to see love, not hatred.
Right.
I ain't had to see I can look at my enemy and say, man, I love you.
Right.
I don't hate you, but I love you. I'm gonna pray for you too.
Hey, you know what I learned, man, and I'm speaking to someone that understands totally. I know. You would think that all the stuff we did in the past, running the streets, all the stuff we did, pulling up on cats with pistols and all types of stuff, we think that would be the hardest, right? That right there, what you said, is the hardest. But I learned that once God was in my heart, it became easier and easier, because he's the one that gave me that peace of love to be able to admit, to tell our enemies that we love you. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. To be able to tell our enemies that, man.
Man, that's only God. That's only God.
Only God.
Because if it wasn't, I'd say, you know what I say.
I already know.
So
and we ain't gonna talk about that. I know.
So it's like, man, when that May 12, 2017 happened, and when I say I was God, I told him send me with the worst of the worst. I wasn't scared. So he sent me to him, and I'm like, God, let's go. Let's go. Let's maneuver. Let's bring this real love. And he told me, I need you to talk to these young people. And when we was talking to the young people, Mike, they couldn't nothing but listen and go and make application, motivate, hustle, then grind.
Right. Hey, they wanted to come listen to what the big homies had to say.
They wanted to motivate, hustle, and grind. When they heard them testimonies, man, they wanted to motivate, hustle, and grind, bro.
Right.
So when I went through that chapter in 2017 and maneuvered for the next 18, 19, 20, 2021, the next 4 years, I was on the yard and I was praying for folks and I was telling people how good God was. And I was worshiping in my cell talking about Jesus. And when I came out when I came out this time, because I went to prison twice. So when I came back out this time, when I ain't come out with it, because the first time I ain't come on to a pair of drawers, I had to wear my nephew drawers the first day home. You feel me? So when I came back the next time and came back, I had God all over me. And they couldn't tell me nothing. So when I had them all over me, when I came home, going through transition, January 5th, 2021, I knew what God told me May 12th, 2017, what was going to happen. And when we came on that yard before we came home, we was already, we was maneuvering. It was maneuvering. People was calling for you, man. Where's Deshawn and Mike at? Where's the study at? Where's the brothers that need some help? Where they need to learn? Y'all need a phone call? We got y'all too.
And the crazy, this guy right here. Come on, man. This guy right here. Not putting down anybody down, but a lot of these cats out here got it watered down. These cats in there is some real live will set it off, and they looking for God, man. Come on with it, man. Come on, man.
Man, what God say he will break you out.
Right.
Ain't no chain bigger than the blessing.
Come on.
And when I say ain't no change bigger than the blessing, when I came home January 5th, 2021, so to give you more background on me, I came home to the worst hotel you can come to in my neighborhood, the Harmony House. So the devil was right in my front door the very first moment I spoke freedom.
Right.
So I ain't get speak freedom in no regular hotel. I went to the worst of the worst hotel, the one when you wake up, I can go do everything that I'm used to.
Right.
So it was temptation at my front door, and I said, "You remember Timothy? Okay, Timothy, this coming back. You remember I was gonna get the celibate ring, Mike?
Yes, yes. I was happy.
You remember?
Come on with it.
You remember I told you I was gonna get the celibate ring before I came home, and it was gonna be real business.
Right.
Timothy 4:12, lead by example.
Right.
So when I came home, when he put me in a Harmony House, it was crazy because I'm like, man, God is good, but God is bigger than what I think he is, because ain't no, I didn't think, I'm like, wow, the Harmony House, you real serious. So I'm coming with COVID, telling them about our COVID testimonies.
Yeah,
they was moving us in the cells, and we couldn't even go to the medical treatment. We had to sit there and drink water, literally.
Remember that.
Literally. Yes. We couldn't call they made it, man, listen, it was one of the worst times of my life when I had COVID-19 in prison. I'm not going to lie to you. But God is good, God is great, and I pray for I just thank God for the healing that he gave us to get through that another wilderness.
Yes.
And so when we got through that wilderness, that one, so when I'm at the Harmony House, I'm doing my 4 months. I got COVID. I don't got my ID, no secretary, nothing, because the Secretary of State, they backed up because people got appointments because it's COVID, you know? So I had to be patient. Sometimes God tell us to be still. And when I say be still, he's telling me this, what he tell me when he tell me be still, is you gonna be complaining about what I said I was gonna do while I'm making you sick. Because if you complaining, that means you ain't believing.
Right. Come
on, man. If you complaining, you ain't believing, bro.
Yeah.
So when he gave that to me, man, January 5th to that like May, I got my first job at 7-Eleven downtown in Arbor. And I got my I'm calling you.
I visit you all the time at 7-Eleven. Go see my brother up there. Go to the 7-Eleven to go up there and see him.
Come on now. Come on. Let me so the 7-Eleven, this is how good God is so great. So if you watching, if you listening, don't never dismiss what God told you to that conference room when it was only you and him. Don't dismiss it. So when I went in there and worked in 7-Eleven, I wasn't just no regular cashier. I wasn't just get swiping receipts.
Right.
I had to work for God too. I had to tell them about how much they love God, but I had to tell them through a Slurpee machine.
Come on, man. A lot of people don't know what a Slurpee machine is. It's like a Frosty. Come on, man.
Hey, I had to tell them through a Slurpee machine. Right. So when I say I had to tell them through a Slurpee machine, this how I tell them. I say my name is Deshawn. If you follow me on UnderDawg Nation, you get a free Slurpee.
That's how you brought him in? Okay.
So
Okay.
it wasn't free because I had to take it out of my paycheck because I had to make sure the business
get
is
it.
on. But he had the blessing on it. He said,
Right.
"Man, if you're doing a good thing, man, I appreciate you, and I appreciate you being honest too."
Right.
So when that started UnderDawg Nation for people that thought I was just a cashier, I got tattoos on me. They see us as black and brown. We tatted up. Already
Right.
got a prejudgment that we ain't nothing people type of people.
Right. Right.
So I didn't take that. Going through that 7-Eleven, I faced the most racism that I ever faced in my whole life when I get called a nigga. I mean, multiple times
Right.
by gets like, come on, man, is that serious? I'm just running receipts.
Right.
You feel me? And I'm on parole and everything, so we can't do nothing because if we do anything, they got a
Right.
spot that's clean that they got porters for, and they clean it up every day.
Oh yeah.
So when I went through that process at that 7-Eleven and God gave me the encouragement to tell people about his vision, I had to go tell them. And I'm not the, IT tech or, I don't know how to do the spoken words or the speeches and all that. I'm just speaking from the heart because he tells us what our heart desires. That's what he's going to give you.
Right.
And when I say I moved into going into that 3 years from now, it's January 5th, 2002. What is it? July 16th, 2024.
Yeah.
So moving on a little bit. Want me move on a little bit or want me pause for a minute?
Go ahead. No, go ahead. You're doing fine, man. I'm loving this because everything you're talking about, I'm remembering all the way from way back when. But go ahead. Yeah.
So we moving to. I'm telling y'all about how UnderDawg Nation launched off into the blessing that God has breathed his life into.
Right.
And when I say that, prophetically saying that, God is greater than anything.
Right.
Anything. That's how I wake up with my mindset. So when I say January 5th, 2021, this is how UnderDawg Nation launched itself. I was just a kid that was coming out of Detroit, going up from traveling Southeast Michigan with my mom, and I had a bad heroin addict, but I had to take a man responsibilities because I was the only boy out of 5 kids, and I was the youngest. But in our neighborhoods, when you're a black man, brown man, we got to grow a little bit older at a young age because we got to handle, taking care of responsibilities. That might be just babysitting. It's other tangibles because we got to support each other.
Yeah.
And we don't want our mamas and daddies looking down on us when they struggling. We want to help our moms at all times, to help our fathers at all times, no matter what the struggle is.
Come on with it, man.
And that's responsibilities for everyone. So when I came into today with launching UnderDawg Nation August 2021, man, this what I did. I said, what's the most direst need right now at that time? And God gave it to me. He said, they going back to school. So you need to go get some backpacks. So when I say I ain't know how to do no event, set no event up, get people to come get no back. He just told me, you need to give backpacks to these kids. And what I go do, I put on the flyer. I met some people that know how to do some canvas, so they taught me. I listened, I learned, and I had my first event through UnderDawg Nation, the back to school backpack event.
I remember that.
August 2021, man.
I remember that.
We end up having 100 kids. I end up going to a dollar store. I ain't know about marketing. I ain't take no classes. I just know what me and Mike talked about and what God opened us in that word. He said, just do it.
Hey, listen, I remember my brother here, Deshawn, way back then would blow my phone up, man, and half the stuff I didn't know, but we was looking it up, and I remember that, man. Hey, come on with it, man.
So to move into this balance of that year, to move into that first event, listen, that year, man, you don't tell me about the minivan that made a blessing of transportation come alive.
Woo! Listen, Tim right here, Timothy. Bro, we was just somewhere yesterday, and we saw that same minivan. He goes, remember Deshawn pulled off from Lansing back to Detroit and this? I said, dang, that's my brother Deshawn. Yes, I remember that.
Man, listen, man, what that minivan made it to there, and it went there to be a blessing.
The UnderDawg Nation minivan, baby.
Come on, man. I was traveling kids all over, going to everywhere.
Right.
So
hey, real quick, that's why today you know, when I was doing this show right here, and of course they knew, you know, Sean Big Uncle was gonna be on and everything, and Timothy wanted to come. Soraya, she does all the sound anyways. Then I got a different couple other people right here to help out with equipment and stuff. Then my nephew, I call him my little nephew. We call him El Gordo, man.
Okay.
He wanted to be on here. He knew a little bit about you, heard it. I said, come on with it, man. He got all. Man, look at that haircut, man.
Man, listen, that's the youth, man. That's the next generation.
That's the youth, man. Right, right.
Youth,
we all
man.
here.
They
right.
and they got responsibilities, man.
Right.
That's the youth for the next generation, man. Tim, you better tell him, man, he can run circles around your dad, man.
Right. I mean, I know he can.
He gonna be pushing
they come for you. You see that commercial they come for you? I said, now you guys may look better than me. Okay, but my bad, bro. Go ahead, brother. You was where we were at.
That's the
minivan all over the state with the kids.
Man, the minivan came out, so I had the event on August 21st, and that was the first event of UnderDawg Nation. And man, I got a great response from the community. They was awesome. I went on live, got a nice audience, got a nice outcome. And then I'm like, okay, I can do it, but I'm still at this time working 3 jobs from 7-Eleven. I was a dishwasher at Slurping Turtle, and then I was doing some cannabis voting when you got to sign people up to vote. I was doing everything I can do to make a legit dollar. And when I say I processed that because I had to fight the devil on the knockout punch, like boom, 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 boom. And when I say going into that presence of getting into that opportunity after that back to school event, I had to come up with it. I mean, I had to come up with, but it was another season around, and that was a toy drive and a winter coat drive because kids need coats when it's cold outside, and that's what God. You know, God also gonna give us things that warm our heart up. You know.
Right. A lot of people down here in the South don't know about them winter.
Oh yeah, man! Y'all gotta get the furs and all that stuff. We weren't giving out furs, but
not yet.
We had man, I had the toy drive. After that back to school event, had another great outcome, and then after that, I was like, man, this is God telling me, like, you better keep going. So after that 2 events in 2021, I didn't. From that moment, we didn't launch over. You can look at my website, www.underdawgnationnonprofit.com, and we didn't, since that 2 events in 2021 that God has blessed, we didn't partner and hosted over 30 events, just in the Southeast Michigan area. It's only been 2 years and that's a blessing. But that ain't just the blessing what God has blessed us, but the testimony on when you a faithful servant. It says in the word, when you pray, but a prayer of a righteous man. You feel me? When a prayer of a righteous man, when you put this in here, oh man, what do you say? The blessing you can't even imagine.
And then, hey, why don't you do this? Because we both definitely, and I know a lot of people that truly give their lives and heart over, because, you know, God knows our heart at the end of the day. Why don't you tell the people what it was like after even this process right here, giving your life over to Christ, UnderDawg Nation, pushing it? Did it get easier or did it get harder?
That's the testimony right there. Did it get easier? Did it get harder? So it got harder. I had to throw away the old temptation, the old man, because I was so comfortable with the old man. I was so confused with the old man. But it got easier when I knew I had to believe. And God said, this is our temporary residence. And we had to, you know, get maneuver. And when I gave my life to Christ, man, my life, man, I can sit back and just enjoy life.
Right.
It's nothing like being a blessing of the Almighty. You just can sit back and relax because you don't wake up with hatred on your heart at the first of all, and you wake up with a passion to love people. So it got easy for me because growing up how I was, I can wake up and look you in your eye, and I can be your worst enemy.
Exactly.
That's Jesus. This ain't no voodoo.
Right.
You talking real reality of logic. Because one thing God don't play with, he don't play with it. He said he's a jealous God at that. When you and the children of the Almighty, you got a protection over. And when I say you got to protect them, that's because it's coming from your heart. Only God can see your heart, man can't.
Amen. Come on.
Whoo!
God can see your heart. God can. I mean, God can. People can't. You're right. Amen.
So if He really know your heart, how can you be afraid of anything?
Right. Right.
So
and, then, and with that, He makes the impossible possible.
Come on now, talk to him. That's
Make the impossible possible, baby. You know?
That's it, man. That's the life journey, man. When God give you a blessing, I don't take it lightly. Because first of all, everybody got a testimony, but some testimony is different. But I knew when God gave me a new heart, I had to appreciate, because sometimes I feel like I don't deserve it. You feel me? Because when you go through stuff that we went through, and go through stuff that some things you be like, man, God, man, now I see what you're talking about, not undeserved, but you so good. Sometimes I be like, man, God, you so good. I don't deserve your blessing. But He knew my heart so much. He say, man, you deserve it more than anything because I know your heart. And I know you ain't that old person that wake up and you think about hatred. I know you ain't that old person that's thinking about manipulating. I know you ain't that old person that can do everything but serve me. I know you ain't that other person no more. So when I say I'm not that other person no more, that's why God gave me accomplishments to be, like I say, when I say I'm UnderDawg Nation is it's about juvenile justice reform. It's about kids that have been impacted by the juvenile justice system. It's about kids that when you go through the system, you go through a lot of trauma, you go through a lot of odds when you go through the system, just like we did when we was childhood. So UnderDawg Nation is a love language where kids can just be a kid. Kids that make mistakes are still kids. So I'm not gonna manipulate kids if they get in the system. I'm just gonna love on them and just tell them that you still can be something, that you ain't gonna take my freedom away because I got a little mistake, because the kid ain't bad. His mama just don't got nothing going on probably, and you feel me, in the system see as that's something wrong. But why is she on a Section 8 with this economic growth where it's a systematical design to keep black and brown folks underneath? You feel me? So when I say that, God is good. God gave us confidence to be bold and courageous, because at the end of the day, it ain't about the color, man. It's about the love language. And when I say UnderDawg Nation need it, the population of the kids that I work with, that the people that I work with, are kids, is what they call the kids that nobody don't care about no more. The kids that when they get kicked out of school, they just going straight to prison. The kids when they get shot, they don't need no more love no more. You feel me? The kids that was former gangbangers, they don't need no more love no more. The kids that might be got some low reading scores or might can't keep up with the everyday class, we don't need them no more. We gonna send them to alternative schools. We gonna send them to alternatives. No, God don't got no. Only alternative God got for the world is His love, and that's the most realest thing that you can give a kid. And that's from a school standpoint. That's from a system standpoint. That's from any standpoint in this world that our Father and Lord and Savior and He created for us. And when I say UnderDawg Nation, is that's where I come into where kids is coming into where we don't look at the color, we don't look at the background. We just want to love our kids and get these kids academics behavior up. We want to love these kids and make sure these kids walking across that stage that help their moms get out the economic poverty they in. That's been set up since the beginning. So we trying to get our kids that's working diligently, because they have a lot of trauma going through, a lot of stuff, but they need more of the love language that God gives us, and that's what we doing, man. And when I say Mike, I love my job. God has blessed me to travel around the country in the last 2 years, to go all the way to Washington, D.C., the White House, to meet the top juvenile, Elizabeth Ryan, Department of Juvenile Justice, who Joe Biden appointed, to give a presentation. I was one out of 6 people out the whole country to get into this fellowship without no education, without none of that. It was straight God. And when I say it was straight God, he challenged me to go and sit in front of people that might be smarter than me, that might could talk a little more elegant than me. But when I say the spirit of the Holy Spirit is led, you go in a room and you just talk.
Right up. Yeah. That's it. Right.
You just talk.
Come on.
And when I say I talk, I ain't had to talk a lot because, like I said, August 2021, by that time I went to the White House and did DC, I did all that. God already did it.
Yeah.
All we just had to tell them to go to the website and look.
Right.
You know, and that's not me, that's him.
Right.
He told me to move accordingly. He's told me to move with obedience. He told me to motivate, hustle, and grind.
Right, baby. Come on, man. That's right.
He told me to motivate, hustle, and grind. He ain't say do it for me. He said do it for my people.
Right.
You feel me? We ain't just in Michigan. God, since he done took me to DC, he done took me to Kansas. He done took me to Vegas. He done took me to Miami. He done took me to Tennessee. He done took me to Ohio. He done took me to West Virginia. I'm talking about he done took me there because he done took me to Chicago. He done took me there because when I went there, I had an assignment to go touch these young people. And every state that I touch, I didn't. Come on, Deshawn. You better follow through when you come back because that's what God does. He make you come back to him. He keep making you come back to him because the love is so good. When you keep coming, you want more. That's the word. So when you want more, you just get to run into him more and more and more and more and more. And that's the love language that he gave me. And when I say that's the blessing that he gave us to be who he is today, bro, that's why I go hard for this juvenile justice reform. It's serious business, man. We in our country today, man, our brown and black youth, they get treated the worst. They get manipulated. They get molested in these systems. They get all types of stuff, man. And to be able to kind of advocate for that, and to be able to be in a room with the politicians, with the chief judges, with the top administrators, with from the community mental health side to the law enforcement side to the horticulture side to the Department of Juvenile Justice side to anybody that want to work with kids side to be at that table and be able to speak and say, man, you know, our brown and black youth, they really need the help the most. They need the resources the most because, you know, at the end of the day, man, I think we have to bring our people up because they've been oppressed for so long. It's time able to see that kids that make mistakes are still kids.
Kids that make mistakes are still kids, man. Come on.
That's it.
Hey, and that's
we ain't looking at them for no tokenism. We ain't looking at them to manipulate them for no check.
Right.
We don't do this for no money.
Right.
God got a bag bigger than your bag of ever see, man. I don't care what man. God, man, my plug is the plug.
Right.
It's all you gotta do is plug them in. That's with your heart. That's
right.
what you on your knees and praying for them and being obedience.
Right.
That's the bag.
Right.
You know, that's the UnderDawg talk.
Yeah. Come on, man.
That's that know thyself outreach talk.
Right.
You better know yourself.
That's that
motivation, hustle, and grind, baby.
Hey, bro, why don't you, man, I love everything you bring. Real talk, man. That's what this is, real talk. Why don't you tell them what UnderDawg Nation has coming or something in the future, man, a little taste or something. Because I know God, I already know he got this whole thing. Because you know what excites me? Let me just say this real quick, all right? What excites me is that what they don't know, right? And it's funny, I just shared this. Our you know, the viewers, they go up. I always tell people, I don't care if there's one person watching or one person views this. If it touches that one person's heart, that's all that matters.
Man, that's all that matters.
And I said this before. I said, I could, in my heyday, I could have been on here doing some other type of live that probably would have had 1,000 viewers. But that's not, you know, God's molded me. But I want to say this. For the ones that do come on, man, this right here, this gentleman right here, and I'm not just saying that because of the history. God put us together, remember. At a certain point, he knew when to. And it was way, way, way back when, but he did it for a reason. And the reason is because not only did Deshawn get to see what God has done in my life, not what Mike's done, because I say this all the time, I'm not perfect. I get agitated, I get mad, all types of little stuff happen. I'm still human. However, God knows my heart. He took me, he molded me. I got great kid blessings. I got family around, good friends. And still stuff happens every single day, man. Because the devil never sleeps. And I remember every single day, man. But I know one thing, when I was on the front line for him, I went 24/7. And now that I'm on the front line for God, I'm going to go 24/7 even harder. And, you know, I really love when certain individuals come and they try to manipulate this, that. I kind of see right through it because I'm like, man, while you going, I've been there 5-6 times. But knowing Deshawn, man, let me say something. I remember when he was just talking about UnderDawg Nation, and when he had it written all down on how we had it planned. When he
all on the papers.
He did it. He wrote it all down.
I did.
And would come to me and say, Mike, what do you think of this? Mike, what do you think of that? And I sat there. Now, mind you, most of you know my story. And by the time he came, No Life Self Outreach was already established. And that was God did that. I didn't. To this day, Deshawn knows why I always put my finger in there in every picture I'm in.
Oh, you used to be too.
Yeah. Everyone always asks me, man, how did you make that happen? How did you get this done? Or how did you guys do that bike drive? Or how did you guys get this? I would say, damn, you got nothing to do with me. I'm just the front line doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm in the front line soldier for God. But I remember him talking about everything and then all of a sudden, like he said, I see him in Washington, D.C. I see him at the White House. I see him over here with the best of the best. And I sit back and smile because he's got that smile and he's all up there. But I know it's because God, and he knows God's the foundation of what he's doing. And he's motivating, hustling, and grinding as he keeps God the foundation in everything he does. You know what I'm saying? So I feel that and I see that, man. That goes to show me how good God always is, no matter what.
Amen.
You know, no matter what. And I get goosebumps, man, when I see where we came from, what we were about.
Man, we was eating honey bun.
To today, what God has done. And again, I say this with, man, I'm not perfect. No one is. Because if you claim to be perfect, man, you got a lot, man. Please, man. Man, listen. I just
you better forget
my life.
Times.
Hey, you know, I had a guy the other day told me that what's that, F around and find out? I said, man, I'm like that. That's me. The old me would have wanted to F around and find out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like that, bro. But my thing is, God molded a whole different individual today that I give you love and peace. I don't see the person that comes at me or talks to people reckless or sideways. I see something in them that shouldn't be, and I pray for them, man.
Come on now, talk to them.
Because of whatever they got going on, man, I pray that God delivers that from them, takes it from them, man. You know, I constantly, lately, man, God, I praise them because I got children, man. I sit back and be like, where they come from, man? Whose kids are these? They doing chores, getting grades. They still human, though, and they kids. They still, you know, slip up. But, man, not like, I'm like, man, my kids, people ask me, what do you feed your kids? I said, I don't know, man. 2% milk? I don't know what it is.
You about to hit that one. I know you in there getting your weight up, man.
Yeah, he over there trying to do push-ups every morning and stuff. Hey, he just hit me. Hey, why you coming to me today talking about, Dad, we both got to stop working out? I was like, what you need, boy? What you need, me both?
No, keep working out. That's part of your
natural. Hey, but yeah, man, but I'm so grateful, man, that God put us in tune, man, put us in line, put us on.
Man, it's a blessing, man.
I get to see everything, and I'm excited, man, that you were on our show, man, Real Talk, Motivation, Hustle, and Grind. So I'm excited that, man, that what you're talking about, I can remember how it came to pass. And I don't care what I'm that one. You know how I said, as long as there's one that got something out of this show, I'm the one that got something, because it made me remember and reminds me daily how great God is because of what he's done in your life and my life. And I've seen it firsthand, man. You know what I'm saying?
Man, listen.
We can sit there and talk to the best of them, right? And they could believe us, not believe us, whatever. You know, but I know, man, everything you just said, I sit back, I'm like, man, I remember that. I think my wife just got on the comments earlier, and you were speaking on something, and she goes, I remember that. You know what I'm saying? She was on the comments talking about, I remember that when y'all went through that. You know, and I'm like, man. So it's like, you know, we're grateful, man.
Man, I'm so grateful, man. God has gave us a blessing to have programs that help people, bro. That help the population of the people that we serve, that give them a respect level to respect us, to do the things that we do from the kingdom standpoint. And I just appreciate that from all the communities we be working with, man. Just to get like I say, man, to be able to bring, you know, that love language into, you know, the work we do, man, is vital. We don't want to see people hurt. We don't want to see people struggling. We want to see people smiling when they wake up, man. We want to see our kids getting, college acceptance letters and all that good stuff. And I'm just thankful that God has gave us a relationship that has been authentic, that has been God led, man. That is, you feel me, shelter with God, man, and just, man, just giving the world open eyes of, man, people that come from where we come from are coming from a behind the cell standpoint. I got 14 felonies on my record, and I done moved on all spaces from the education realm to whatever they said we can't do, with a record. Right now, I'm going for my degree. I start in August.
Not to not interrupt you, brother. Don't you love that? That goes to show you how God great is. When people used to say, "You remember me too." You can't do that. You gotta. You can't do that. You got. And look,
it's
keep going up and up and up. It's God, man. Go ahead, tell me about your degree.
I'm the last thing, man. I'm about to go get this college degree. I start school in August, and that's my next journey. Youth justice matters. And I gotta accomplish things for that. That's the road God gave me. UnderDawg Nation is still traveling around, bringing community events together, helping these young people reform the system, making sure that youth is getting their voices heard, that they are being youth led. We just thank God every day, man, for just giving us the blessing. And I just pray over our country, with all our leaders and just everything that's going around, with our country. Because people just take their blinders out and just love their neighbor, for just loving their neighbor, and just seeing people for who they are, and just loving God, man, putting God first, man. Like we started this show with, man. When you put God first, it ain't a lot you gonna say. Like I say, man, when you complaining, that means you ain't believing.
That's right. Complaining, you ain't believing. I like that. I'm gonna use that, man. If you complain, you ain't believing. Hey, with my brother Deshawn, hey, what's the halfway mark from here to Michigan? What state? Okay, Arkansas. Hey, Arkansas. They said Arkansas is the halfway point from here to Michigan. So we got to meet in Arkansas, UnderDawg Nation, and Don't Lie Self Outreach, and put a big old bang together at some event. Halfway down there, man. Put it together or something, man.
Arkansas, here we come. Raise your back. You hear me?
Let them know how. Hey, right, for real. Let them know how Michigan and Texas get down there.
We go blue. We go blue. Michigan with rings.
Right.
Hey, down there in Texas, y'all got Dallas. They y'all got to show up this year.
Right. Hey, you cut out a little bit.
I say y'all Dallas, Texas got to show up.
Yeah. Hey, but man, I love you, brother. Hey, for sure. Hey, I love you, man. I'm glad you could come on, man. God bless. I also want to say before we go out, man, everybody, come on now, man. Deshawn Leeth, CEO and founder of UnderDawg Nation, doing big things out there in Southeast Michigan, man. My brother. I also want to let the public know I'm really excited that UnderDawg Nation is going to be one of our lead sponsors for the Real Talk Motivation Hustle and the Grind Show. Big dog, you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna bring some youth on to talk to Timothy and
other
folks.
Hey, I'm about to send a bunch of merch down there, man. Real Talk hats and shirts. I want everybody to be out there like, you know.
Come on, man. Hey, Real Talk, man.
Yeah, hey, and keep doing what you're doing, man. Motivating, hustling, grinding, keeping God the foundation of everything you do, man. In today's society, I appreciate that.
And I thank you for giving me this opportunity, man. And like I say, man, I just thank God for giving us this opportunity. You and your family been a blessing, man. And I guess next time we come down and like I say, midway point, all that, man. I'm looking forward to our next interaction and stuff, man. It gets like I say, man. Continue on with the work you doing down there, man. With the blessings that you've been a blessing for your family and community. And like I say, man, we putting God first. We hustle, we grind, and we motivate. And at the end of the day, we don't complain. We just believe.
Amen. My brother. All right, well, I'm gonna let you off, man. I'm gonna shout out to my lead sponsors again, man. God bless. Love you, man, and we'll be in touch, brother.
All right, buddy. Love y'all, man.
Yep. Hey, at this time right now, man, I just want to say, come on, man. Deshawn Leeth, CEO of UnderDawg Nation. You heard it right here on Real Talk, Motivation, Hustle, and the Grind, man. At this time, what I'm going to do is, this is one of my favorite parts right here. I love giving mad shout-outs, man, to all my elite sponsors, man. Let's go ahead and let's start with, Southern Cross Home Health. Southern Cross Home Health right now, they are accepting new clients. Contact them, give them a call. The number to call is 361-949-5246. Southern Cross Home Health. They are accepting new clients. Let me see. Then we got, hold on. You know, of course, always, I love the Leeth sponsors. They are family-owned, family-operated. Bam! Super Science Solutions. Come on now, best car wash in South Texas. Come on down, man. See my peoples down there, man. John, family-owned, family-operated. John, wake up. I know John be going to sleep early because he got to get up early. But I love them, man. Come check them out, man. Of course, you know, I got to throw mad shout-out to my homeboy, Havo G, Matador Media Productions and Stella. They do all our promos, videos, anything you need, reach out to them. Hey, Havo G will host any event, man, and hyping it up 1,000-fold. My mad love again, and all these companies and businesses, man, are family-owned, family-operated. They hustle, they motivate, they grind, they put God the foundation first in everything they do. Of course, you know, family-owned, family-operated, JF Empire Limousine Service, man. We got JF Empire Limousine Service. Call for booking today at 361-756-1279. Beautiful, beautiful limos. Come check them out. And then you can get driven to 611 Commerce Venue. Call again today for pricing and booking at 361-756-1279. All these, please remember this, all of them, family owned, family operated. And then we have Rose's Gifts and Creations. Check them out on Facebook, man. They got a lot of cool everything, pretty much anything you need. Check them out, get on there. Family owned, family operated. And again, mad shout outs, man. Mad shout outs to my brother, man, Deshawn, Leeth, CEO of UnderDawg Nation. He did big things, man, and he's still doing big things in God's name. So this is all I got to say right here, and this is it, right? Thank you all for everything. Keep God first in everything you do. Look, you're looking for the answer, it's in the Bible. If you don't believe me, I'm going to pray for you. That's all I can do. Keep doing what you're doing, motivating, hustling, and grinding as you keep God the foundation of everything you do, man. I'll see you guys next Tuesday, and let's see who's going to be on Real Talk, Motivation, Hustle, to Grind the show. You never know who it's going to be.
Deshawn Leeth.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm a billboard, tell them broadcasting like the radio. Tell them where you want to go. I'm brand new. I know one thing's true. I don't even really deserve to know you, but I'm a witness that you did this, and I'm brand new. So I'm ready to go. I'ma tell the world what they need to know. Slave to myself, but you let me go. I tried getting high, but it left me low. You did what they could never do. You cleaned up my soul and gave me life. I'm so brand new, and that's all that matters. I didn't love you first, but you first loved me. Come on, in my heart I cursed you, yeah, but you set me free. I gave you no reason to give me new